Will Save You is out now on Hulu. This is a new release that came out this past weekend that I am late checking out on. It is written and directed by Brian Duffield. It stars Caitlin Dever, a young woman who's been alienated from her community, finds herself in a face-off against a host of extraterrestrial beings who threaten her future while forcing her to deal with her past. I really wish this movie was released in theaters, because if I had seen this in Dolby, the sound design for this movie is so good. It would have been banging in Dolby. I love the sound design in this movie. The sound is so sci-fi-y. I guess that's the way to put it. There's just certain sound effects in this movie that really made me go, I'm definitely watching like an alien invasion movie or an alien thriller, something like that. Like just like the wow, like it like warbled sound effects from like a spaceship or from the aliens themselves. I thought added a lot to this movie and made the movie even more intense than it already was. There were some really great action set pieces, or in set pieces in general, in this movie. The first act, I think, has one of my favorite set pieces. The first act really sets up the movie to be this contained, isolated home invasion thriller, but with aliens. It really sets this movie up to feel fresh and original in that way, because you really don't see home invasion movies dealing with aliens, and it's one person. It's Caitlin Dever, who I will talk about in a minute, because she's fantastic in this movie, as she is in everything. That first act is so well set up. It's got all the stakes, it's got all the tension, it's got the intensity, it's got really fun action in that first 30 minutes or so, that I did think that there wasn't a set piece that really topped that throughout the rest of it, even though the set pieces are still intense and offer a lot of fun and at times camp to the movie as well. Just not as well as that first act. I think that first act is definitely the best part of the movie. And the third act, too, to an extent, is also really good in terms of set pieces. I think the second act is where the movie drags a little bit. The set pieces in the second act aren't as interesting, nor is the story. The story seems like it's going to divert into something else, and you're really questioning what this actually has to do with everything, and it kind of comes back around at the end, but even then it's not really fully explored. There's a good concept, I think, with it, but it's not fully answered, and I think that is where this movie struggles a little bit, especially in that second act, setting that thing up, and in the third act, as intense as that third act is with the set pieces, it does have some unanswered questions, or it does make some odd narrative choices and story choices that I think could have been fixed with one more rewrite of the script, or just a different idea as to how to film it, because there's something that you're supposed to be seeing. I feel like you're supposed to be seeing it from Caitlin Dever's perspective, but you're seeing it from another perspective, and it doesn't have as much of an impact, at least an emotional impact, on you as a viewer, or at least it didn't on me, to get the point of the movie across. Essentially what this movie is a giant allegory for grief and trauma and pain and being remorseful and forgiving yourself. That's essentially what the movie is building up to, and I think it works 80% of the time. It's just those odd narrative choices in the third act hinder much of the progress that the movie was making towards executing that to its full potential. I also think the aliens in this movie are shown way too much, and I think the design is not that great. The design of these aliens reminds me of those stupid fucking monstrosities from Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Caitlin Dever, though, is fan-fucking-tastic in this movie. You can really look at this movie as something that is original. As I said, it's an alien home invasion movie. Not a lot of alien home invasion movies have been done. It feels very similar to the ending of Signs, but there's also only one single line of dialogue, and it comes within the last 20 minutes. For someone to give a performance where you have one line of dialogue and you have to really act with body language and movements, Caitlin Dever does a fantastic job. Probably her best performance to date, given the parameters that this character and her performance have to work in. I haven't seen a better performance from her. Like I said, she's fantastic in everything I've seen her in, but I think that this is the one where I said, yep, just throw her in everything and I will love her in everything because she is so good and she knows how to capture all that body language that this character is emoting for you to understand how this character is feeling or how this character reacts. And I really like her character in this movie too. She's resourceful, she's smart, she does make bad decisions, but then she'll immediately make a good decision because she realized that the decision that she made was bad. I like that. I like a flawed character like that who was able to right the wrongs. That just added another layer to her performance that she really had to include in her performance as well. As I said in the open, I wish that this was released in theaters. I don't know why Disney just keeps dumping all these Fox movies onto Hulu. I mean, they released Barbarian in theaters, and yet they dumped something like Prey or this movie onto Hulu. I wish that this was in theaters, and I think I would have enjoyed it more, and maybe could have overlooked some of those odd narrative choices in the third act a little bit more if I had seen this in the theater, because I know that the sound would have been popping. But I still had a really fun time watching this movie. No One Will Save You is an enjoyable movie with three-fourths of a bag of popcorn. Yeah, I'm not saying bucket because I didn't see this at the theaters. I had to stay home. I cooked a bag of popcorn, ate three-fourths of it. I will understand, though, if people don't think it's as original as the movie leads itself on to be. So if you have seen No One Will Save You on Hulu, let me know what you think of it in the comments section below. I'll leave my link to my website in the description below as well. You guys are the best. Thank you for watching. My name is Alex Madden, and I will see you at the movies somewhere.